Primarily, what we are advocating is those investments that have been made by the taxpayers and that they are entitled to this information. Okay, that's number one. So our target is government agencies that are already, that taxpayer money is paying for that data. Paying for the collection of that information. We already have very good examples around the world where the private sector is coming to the table in times of need and either opening up additional tasking time on their satellites or opening up additional data from their archive. So I think that's really good. For me, I'll be honest, while I think it's wonderful if the private sector can come in and for certain activities like this open up more data, but I still would say we've got to understand that each of the entities in this ecosystem have respective roles and responsibilities. And to create a robust economy around geospatial data, I think there's a very important role for the private sector, whether it's the big data providers or whether it's small and medium-sized enterprises, to use data that's already been collected at taxpayer expense to build additional applications and innovation, because I feel very strongly that the true innovation is going to happen with small and medium-sized enterprises and the commercial sector, and we need to recognize that they have a different role in this ecosystem. Back on my personal experience in the United States with the Landsat policies, the government was investing tremendous resources into Landsat. We were just not leveraging those investments. And so while there may be some costs that are very important for the governments to acknowledge, right now we are not using government resources efficiently when some government agencies are selling data to other government agencies. That's not a good use of taxpayers' money. I think it's a precursor. So for me, it's all about open data, open standards, open software, transparency, and open government. Those governments and government entities are here for one purpose: to serve the public good, to serve taxpayers and the citizens of our governments. And I think until we create these more open environments, then we are doing a disservice to the people that we're supposed to be serving. It's a start to open up data within national boundaries, but in the group on Earth observations, we have a saying that goes something like, countries have borders, Earth observations don't. And that's important because the Earth does not behave country by country. So it's a global system. Processes that occur in one part of the Earth or one part of the globe affect other parts. And so clearly we're advocating that sharing data within your own government is a good first step, but we need to go much broader if we're going to really address, one, the Sustainable Development Goals, and number two, the true environmental processes that are affecting the Earth. We live in a world where you just can't prevent everything from happening. And so what we firmly believe in is that the benefits that will come from more open data will far outweigh the risks of a few people doing some bad things with that information. Clearly very strong feelings about that, and the privacy of individuals absolutely should be protected. And so what we're looking at are conglomerations of data that cannot be pinned to any one person and their actions, but the sum total of those actions that have an impact on our environment ought to be measured, and then so that people can make better choices about what they're doing. So personal privacy absolutely needs to be protected, but the sum total of citizens' actions are having an impact on our globe, and we need to be monitoring that. It would be really hard for me to say that, because I think right now GEO has 102 members, and while there might be trends for some countries that come to the table with more broad open data, even in those countries, we can point to examples where government agencies might do a really good job of opening up data, but scientists who are funded by government resources may not be opening up their data. So I think this is a big enough challenge for all the governments of the world, and we're just going out uniformly and saying to a country, countries could do a better job of making their data more available.